this one. Ugh. It's Tiberius. Huge, giant cat. Smells kind of like skunk. Look how big he is. He's a very loving cat. His father is a tail chaser who doesn't ever ask for permission. I have to beware about the other cats we let out with his father, Fred. Fred is a cat with albino features, very albino eyeballs. He looks like in the sunlight he can't see anything at all. This cat has Siamese eyes almost, if you look, if you can kind of give a bit of an insight. He's the friendliest cat ever. He's so friendly that he goes to be nice to the other cats, and they hit at him. They don't want anything to do with it because he's too loving. I like him quite a bit. He's like the anti-Fred. He goes around seeking affection from everything. The real Fred goes around trying to get at everything. He can be okay though sometimes, but what a happy cat. He just doesn't stop. He has a niece named Sammy, who's also a white cat. Sammy has the same cat patterns, except they're dark gray. And she looks like a moth. They kind of look like moth indents on his head, only they're much lighter color. Anyway, can't really get his tail. There's his tail. See? Look how striped it is. Very striped tail. I'm not trying to trade fleas between him and the carpet, though. I've honestly had an endeavor of having to go through all that. It's kind of the affection from a human that I've been looking for, only this cat seeks the same affection. In a cruel, cruel world. There's always, what's it called? Something love. Something love. Indiscriminate love. I don't know what kind of love it's called. Went and played earlier, didn't really do the greatest, could have played better, but I did it anyway. He did it anyway. Recorded it. Don't really want to look back at the recording, but look how big this dude's getting. It just kind of is worrisome to me. He's getting so large so quick. I want his health, to be as good as possible. There you go, buddy. There you go. He doesn't really want to go out. You okay? He might be afraid to run down the hallway because of fleas. If he has any, though, he should probably just only visit in here temporarily. So I'm wearing black pants, so I can't tell if there are any. Unfortunately, to switch to white pants so that I can see if there's any on me. I've been taking care of it pretty okay lately. It's just the warm summers have allowed them to multiply. I'm not the only one that deals with that kind of thing, so I don't feel too, nonchalant to bring it up, but trying to get life to be a bit better. Honestly, things hadn't been great. Like, I'll talk about it again. Hey, come here. Come on, man. What are you doing? Having the teeth things get fixed. I had a wisdom tooth removed, too. Alright, guys. I brought him back to where he wouldn't have to run through a gauntlet, a floor disaster or anything, so whatever I can do to turn my own world around wherever it is that I was feasibly crudded up or whatever. Like, yeah, I had a piece of the root break out that they had to fish out. I'm thinking that any other place, any other dentist might have left that root in, and that horrified me. I said it before, but I was just a moment of my life stopped, and I thought to myself, did I just make a screwed up? Did I just screw up big time? Like, am I gonna be permanently in pain now? Gonna be in pain for the rest of my life. And it's like, they did it. They took a little bit of time. They took something and drilled in my bone, got the rest fished out. I could have been anywhere else, and they would have maybe skipped that or ignored it, and that would have been horrible. I really feel that if I was at that place where I was at Binghamton and I let them go ahead and try to do any of this stuff, they would have done that. So the only thing that happened was that now, when I bite down, it was like that, but now it's not like that now. But it's like there's a bit of some stickiness felt at one tooth, and there still is a bit. But I think if I just get the toothpaste on there a bit more, I haven't been able to like get at a certain spot. So that's two within under a month, 2 teeth taken out, and it's like that's gone. But so what? I have about a month and a half, I think. And then if I really did have something going on with my nerve up here that wasn't tooth related, I'll know. Because like, it was like a long time dealing with that as pain. And I might be able to get some better perspective, you know. I've been crude, but I've had crude activities. I've had rudeness in this town, like by people I don't know in stores having comments and shit, and it was just really annoying. And then I left into another town, and it was like people were really nice and everything. Like, not like I need people to be nice to me, it just doesn't hurt, you know, because I got it where I can do whatever I do without really having to do stuff with others or interact so much with people. I'm not like bending my demeanor or anything like that, but this thing's called Porta-Pro. I want to learn about electronic repair in case I have to keep these going for life. Because those sound great. Yeah, I played earlier and I could have did better. I've been upset the last few years about basically music because I just have these ideas of what it could be like. And it's just, I gotta find something, you know, for the outliers, you know. And I have things I say and things I said. I still stand pretty true to a lot of things I said, but I don't know if they'll be understood or not really. But it's kind of like, you know, you're born without siblings. You always have to prove people's freaking doubts wrong all the time. And it gets real tiring after a long time having to do that. So you just stop doing it anymore. And then if people throw you into whatever thing that makes them feel more comfortable, it's just like whatever, you know. It lets there be a stigma, which is the word about it, is a stigma. And it's just like, I can only do what I do. Yes, indeed. But, you know, I just need a crew. I'm trying to get a crew together, you know what I mean? Get a crew together. I don't know, people, I just can't believe how judgmental people are in this free-thinking town and everything like that. There's a lot of really just spoiledness of some of these rich college kids and everything. And I was supposed to get in trouble for saying that kind of stuff or whatever, but it's like, fuck that. Fuck worry. Fuck, who cares? You know, I'm just gonna say the truth I see, you know? Because I've been places and I felt like more of a flow and betterness of heartfulness and everything. And it's just like, my whole life is a creativity, you know. My whole life is just like if you know within that if you coast with your imagination and you can create things that are actually like healing to people that are like the outlier types and people that don't have brothers and sisters, people that don't have their father around anymore, and people that haven't been given the same chances other people have been given because you can't buy into them or anything like that, you know. Like I like raw soul, you know. So I can't dance to anybody else's, you know, demands of movement though, and I never will. And that's fine with me. And I have a lot of things to say that I noticed about, you know, people that would go into the record industry, the music industry is what they call it now. You know, and I'm not afraid to talk about that kind of stuff, how disgusting it is, the music industry, the entertainment industry, and all this and all that. I feel like I could heal and mend with anybody that I know in person or anybody that I'd met or anything where there's any like dissonance or whatever. Completely fine with that. I think people from different walks of life should be able to communicate and get along with one another. You know, just that if you set examples of songwriting that seem a little bit like one way or another, like it should be understood that it's going off into how to write fables and do things like that. So, yeah, but I have a situation of guitar stuff going on. I have some pickups that I'm putting in. These are BT3S. Gretsch has the worst naming system, but every guitar company has a pretty lousy naming system. It's too much for me to get into, I think. I happen to be in a world of actually like having to upgrade an amp after getting this working and everything like that, because I'm probably going to ruin my Fishman. But I like the clean tone of it. Not like you can hear it right now or anything like that, but I have too many guitars, but I can't get rid of any of them really. I don't know what I was thinking and how my life got to be this way, but I absolutely love music. I absolutely do not know how to play the guitar. I do not know how to make music. I don't know what an actual guitar is, but I know what music is, and I know what the feeling of catharsis and levity is when you make songs and you feel like it's going good and everything, so. But anyway, in the preparing of the process of fishing everything out of the bridge pickup hole, gonna get a pre-wired kit, I think. When you upgrade the wiring on a Gretsch, people typically actually like have just as much in the electronics as the guitar itself, which is crazy, but that's the part that they kind of, I mean, it's not terrible, but I'm already getting some scratchiness, you know, from the turning the knobs and everything. I always wanted a hollow-bodied guitar. In a way, I sacrificed that one tooth to be able to work at this, because I probably could have, I have no clue. My idea is that they would have done a root canal and then that tooth would have not been good and they would have needed to pull it anyway, but, you know, I'll say that this was actually under, I don't want to throw money stuff around really, because where am I at with things? How much do I actually earn for any of the music I've ever done? I'm not saying that I should have a living off of it, but it's been ridiculously non-enthusiastic. It's been ridiculously non-encouraging how my life in music has ever been as far as like selling anything. And that might be an open space for anybody to swoop in and say something to me. That's probably not the nicest thing. So I'm just gonna disregard any of that whatsoever. But I always wanted a hollow body guitar. I like the thicker that they are. I don't like those thin line ones or whatever. Center blocks are really decent and everything, but I always just wanted a hollow body because the music I like Poison Ivy of the Cramps, she needs to be recognized very, very much. Even she had hinted towards that, but I can't go into saying how many influences there are for like the hollow body sound when it's driven, nice and full sound, kind of like you know, really brash. That's the word I've associated with all of it. It's very, very brash, so. Anyway, I decided to just make my own thing if I can't like belong in with anybody else or whatever, but I have to like build my own momentum to be able to coast off of every now and again and everything like that. And to put your actions where your mouth is, which can be kind of that's an ego check in a way, you know what I mean? So that's fine. I understand that, but I can only do it how I do it, and other people know how that is also, I guess, but I don't want to act like I got any, like, it basically, okay, this is the thing, it was under 3 bills, what they call, I don't use that language, some people do, I just did, I'm not going to do it again until right now, and then not anymore after this, but this was under 3 bills, I don't know why the person wanted to have it gone for that little, but I've been that way a few times before, where it's just I don't like being a salesperson. Otherwise, I would have sold more records or albums, had more support if I was any better at doing that, But I'd need somebody that's actually good at like that part of business, but I don't really trust anybody that's in that business of business, So. Anyway, I'm exhausted. I'm in a rather strange state of mood because this wisdom tooth, when I was taken out, it's not as painful as I thought it would be, but I have stitches in there. They even gave me a mouthwash for it. I made some other video where I talked about that. You into those people that go over the same subject matter again and again? I'm not doing political commentary. I'm not doing media coverage or anything like that. This is just journaling. That's all this is just journaling. I don't expect very many people to be like, interested or anything like that. It doesn't bother me if they are or they're not really, Just understand it's me doing my own thing. If you don't like it, tons of other stuff, Yeah, but could move my interest over into other instruments and everything like that as well, but I have to be honest, I'm really content with, when it comes to percussion, just taking things I find around me. They could be anything, they could be anything, so I don't know. Not that. Not that. And then you just add some, condenser, a little bit of some delay, or use the keyboard. The percussion instruments I have on the keyboard sound very lifelike, and they sound like it's better than me trying to actually mic a real drum set sometimes, because I've tried that before and everything. And as long as I don't desync on the percussion, that's the way I like to do it, because I'm the only one that I have around to really do music projects and everything, or I'm the only one that has the kind of go ahead of how I want to hear it, because there's a lot of weird quirky patterns and everything going on when it comes to playing, especially with the percussion. It probably could be rather gruesome and annoying and intolerable to like play percussion how I want it done, unless you do shaker instruments and basically wood blocks, things that have a hollowness, like a haunting. I like the idea of it being like a coffin case, stuff like that. Coffin cases and old rusty tools and everything. I mean, I know Tom Waits and everything was like in that aspect of our area too. Surely he didn't like, discover doing that. I'm not taking anything away from him whatsoever, by the way. It's just like, for me I don't want to be like, oh, he's doing the Tom Waits thing. Because it's just spooky and eerie music. I really am into that. The same way he probably would feel enthused. Because like, it felt nice opening the car door outside, and I heard the coyotes in the distance and everything, and the moon was out and everything like that. I dug it. I liked it. And that's going to make sounds based off of that. Little chapters of stories, so. Anyway, yeah, I'm a struggling musician, and I've been going through pain, and I don't fit in around here, but I'm fixing that. I don't care. I mean, I don't want to, but I just have a right to carry my own creative prowess. Like, I have a right to that. That right hasn't always been open to reception. But if I had ever blamed anybody at any point, then at least without having pain in my life every day, because there's still other things to deal with. We all have things to deal with, but me, no siblings, not really any safety net. Crazy enough to still keep going. I've seen them come and go. I can't come and go, because whatever it is, even if songs I make aren't like stuff I like, sometimes, or if even other people don't like it or whatever, I can make something I like, others don't, and it'll put me into feeling like what people are supposed to pay for by going and sitting in some sort of therapy room or something like that. It's like I don't get that from that. I get that from howling like a weirdo, or making something that sounds decent to me, or getting something else. And I call it archetypal, and I really do believe Antero Ali, he was teaching regarding the archetypes, and we're going to like mysticism and all that, but I just, mysticism seems like such a trend. You're always going to get caught up. So that's why you should just, be a little bit, not you, but just anybody could be a little bit, be jovial about it, so it doesn't like reap you into like cutting down your own root so you topple, just have some jovial nature about it every now and again, not to where there's nothing serious within or anything like that, but just, not being too straught out, I don't know. I just have to say that again though. It's like, isn't it weird to like be a human being who like has commentary about yourself in the same space you're in by people who think that you can't hear them? Because it's my assessment of this being like where Cornell and Ithaca College is and everything like that. It's like there isn't that thing where they could wear a bruise on their cheek, and that doesn't mean I'm anything of like unfair whatsoever. It's just the amount of what people run with these days, of what they know that they typically could be able to get away with and everything. It's like a narc society, but all of the mosquitoes have a lot of like arrogant surplus to them, a lot of the blood-sucking mosquitoes kind of figure that they could treat other people like lessers or whatever, I wouldn't want to be them ever in my life, ever. I don't care how many placements of kinship they have with brothers and sisters, or how much they can get bailed out of everything constantly monetarily or whatever, because a lot of the pain I've went through, if I can put it into lyric the right way, it's like that rust that you find while everything else is plastic, fiberglass, and clean. I'd rather go to the rust yard and figure something out that if you're able to safely move your hand across it without getting ripped open with blood or whatever, you can look at something, appreciate it, and write it in a way that's very you. That's what I encourage, in a way that's not honed in on any excuses, and it doesn't turn into novelty. Novelty doesn't last, but doing it your own way from the oversoul lasts, so. Anyway, so I will prepare myself to do this hollow body electric harness replacement, and then solder the Seymour Duncan Cyclones up to this, get some electro zinc strings and 11s on here, and probably play it more acoustically than I will plug it in. Then I'll plug it in every once in a while, do some recording and all that kind of thing. I'm in the slowest hurry there's ever been, though, getting any more material out and everything like that, but it is what it is. So it's basically just for the relief of, you know, I'll do some more talking about the music industry at some other point in my life. Or I could avoid talking about any of that altogether. But I get my own DIY thing going together, my own creative sort of network and everything like that. I think a lot of really fun things could come out from that, so anyway, not much more to say. I just felt like staying in here for a really long time, maybe even almost close to a half hour. I can upload all of this. I can upload all of this and get it off my phone. Happy October from Loam Enterprises. That's all I have to say.